Kid Stitcher. I am back for another weekly cross stitching update. I am surprised that I'm here. I didn't think that I was going to be able to come back this week, but children are well entertained together, and I thought I have some fun Christmassy things I'd like to show before Christmas is over. So here I am. Do I have any new starts? No, I don't think I have any new starts. I've really only stitched on a couple of things, but I did do a lot of sewing this week. I don't know. I've been having a hard time. Sorry, I'm picking something on my hand. Glue. I've been having a hard time committing to projects to stitch on. I don't know what it is. I'm just like super restless. Like I can't sit still long enough to do anything for any significant amount of time. And sewing is much more active. I'm up and down at the iron and the cutting table and, you know, the sewing machine. And so I was doing a lot more of that just because it felt like I was doing something versus just sitting and stitching, which is doing something, but you know what I mean. So I will show my stitching projects first, and then I will show my sewing projects. iPad. So the projects that I've been working on this last week are just really simple ones. I've been working on my animal crackers and my prairie schooler Santa, which was lost. He got lost. He got lost, by the way. Where is the dumb skunk? I was looking everywhere for him last night because I wanted to see if I could finish him before. I want to finish him before Christmas. You guys, I looked everywhere. I tore apart every single project bag, every single folio, all the drawers. I looked everywhere and I could not find this freaking Santa, and I was losing my mind about it. And then finally I found it. Where is this stupid? There it is. Okay. I finally found it in this top drawer here. I have 3 baskets, and it has a 36 count, a 40 count, and a 46 and 56 count basket. And I keep basically just like small offcuts of bigger pieces, like random offcuts of fabrics. Half of them aren't labeled. It's just, they're just in there. And it was in the 36 count random offcut basket. For whatever reason, it was in there. So I found him. All is well. Okay, first whip I will show is Sugar. She is the animal cracker that was released by Stacy Nash for the Jingle Ball. Well, one of them. That little mouse, I think its name is Ginger, was released, but you had to have taken the class. This one, you could just buy the PDF. So cute. I went back and forth on colors for the sweater, and then in the end decided I was going to do it in the called for green. So these are the colors. I did sub out, oh, I need to take this one out because I don't like that gray. I did sub out this color for the skunk. I think it's called for to be stitched in coal, and I didn't want it so black. So I swapped it for Paving Stone from Color and Cotton, which is more grayish black. Cinnamon Toast is like the pinks in the ears and stuff and the nose. I just didn't have the called for, which was Pink Sand. I did have the sweater colors. And then this is the color I subbed for the like the white in the skunk. Calls for whitewash. I don't know. I just thought I'm using a Color and Cotton, might as well use 2. This is what I'd got to replace galvanized, but I don't like the yellow. It's giving too much yellow, so I'm gonna switch it probably to galvanized. And I am stitching her on 40 count. I think it's called Dust Bunny by Fox and Rabbit. And I was watching Audrey. She does stitch. She's Stitch Bead. She does Stitch With Me videos. She posted one this morning, and I was watching this morning while I was drinking coffee. And I realized I did the eyelashes in the same color as the whiskers. Not supposed to be. I think they're supposed to be black because hers were black. And I was like, oh, I guess eyelashes are usually black, aren't they? So I have to fix the eyelashes probably, but this is a humongous animal cracker. Humongous. Let me show you for reference. This is Lily. She's also on 40 count. Look how much bigger just the head is. These are both 40 count. It's humongous. It's like the biggest animal cracker probably in existence. I can't get over how big it is. So I just outlined the massive noggin. She's got a big old brain in there, I think. Because I really wanted to get the green in because she was just a weird, awkward floating head on the fabric. So we have a sweater neck. But yeah, the black's going to take me a bit because that's a lot. That's a lot. But she's really cute. She does have a tail that comes out this way. I'll probably have like 1.5 inches margin, which is plenty. So yeah, there's Sugar. And then I stitched on my other animal cracker, which is Blizzard, who is not a cat, it is a fox. Blizzard. And I mentioned in my last video that I changed the sweater color from Seafoam to this speckled mint color, mint chip from Roxy Floss. And, well, let me show you first. I'm stitching it on 40 count. I never remember the name of this. Dirty You from Dames of the Needle. I don't remember what he looked like last time you saw him. I finished the legs. I added more sweater. I outlined the tail. And I got to the top of the bottom of the scarf, like the top of the sweater. I started filling in some of the scarf. I did start filling in the empty spaces in the sweater, which are supposed to be stitched in whitewash. But I was stitching it on and you literally can't see. Like you can't see the difference between these two once stitched on. I don't know. I couldn't see the difference. So I'm holding off on that for now. Maybe I'll do a different color, like a tan or something that will show better on the sweater once more of him is stitched. Because you can already see just with the grits of his fur and the green sweater, like you can barely see a differentiation. And it's like that on the chart, but to have it also be in the sweater was just like too much white. So I'll probably change that color at some point when I get near the end. He's very headless and it's awkward. I would like to give him a head soon. So that is Blizzard. And then the other project I worked on, first of all, look at this cute bag. My mother-in-law gave me this bag a really long time ago for Christmas one year with a bunch of Prairie Schooler charts inside, Santas. A long time ago, years and years and years and years. Look how cute it is. So I keep all my Prairie Schooler Santas in here. I have a bunch of different Prairie Schooler charts in here. And I am working on this chart. This one in the center, which is year 2016, the reindeer. These little buggers are way more dense than you think. I'm stitching them all on 36 count. And just random 36 counts in my scrap bin. This one is aged hazelnut, I think. Here he is. Look how cute he is. I'm not stitching this in the called for colors. It is a bunch of different colors. It's the colors Lori Holt uses. And I was told what those colors are. They're from one of her books. She lists all the DMC for like a collection in one of her books. But the Santa is for sure stitched in 347 DMC. And then I just picked the other colors myself. Colors that I thought were nice and Christmassy. He has no eyes yet. He will have eyes, but I'm waiting to do all the black at once. I am almost done. So close. I just have to finish the deer and his antlers and then add in like the border. I think there's another hoe up there too, but he's so cute. I stitched like half of this yesterday. They go pretty quick. They're just dense. I love it. I love him. And that's all the whips I worked on. That's all the stitching that I did. I don't know. Just one of those weeks. It's okay. I've been doing a lot of other things. Not stitching related. Christmas related. Preparing for Christmas. Okay. I will show the sewing that I have gotten up to though. So, I wanted to try making a different kind of bag. A bag that was smaller. Just to be able to put like animal crackers in because the charts are really small and they're just small. And I have mostly really large bags. Like most of my bags are this size, which is okay. But sometimes you just want a smaller one. So I was using Celeste Creates. I think that's his, I was working off of her tutorial and then also using what I know about making bags. And I just pulled a bunch of Christmas scrap fabric that I have. I have a bunch of like weird sized pieces of fabric. It's like, it's too big to throw away, but not big enough to really do anything of substance with it. So I pulled a bunch of those and I was like, these are just for me. I'm just going to practice. And I made this little gingerbread one. See, was piecing together some scraps that I had that were like long and skinny, but it's just for me, so I don't care. And it's got this cute tartan plaid on the back. And the inside is more tartan plaid. So it's a top zip. I've never made a top zip bag. Mine usually go this way. So I just wanted to try something different. Put a red zipper and a little gingerbread charm, and it's just cute. And it'll hold an animal cracker just perfectly. So I made that one. Thought that's fun. I have more Christmas scrap. Let's make another one. And then I totally didn't pay attention to my own measurements, and this one turned out a bit bigger. It's not as small. I cut it like 1 inch, 2 inches too big or something. But it's not as big as these ones, so it's just kind of like a random weird size. But I love this fabric. This is a Robert Kaufman Christmas fabric. I think it's so cute. I did like a turquoise zipper, a candy cane charm, and the inside is this really fun plaid. So yeah, just a fun, cute little bag, just experimenting. And then on January 1st, I know I've mentioned that the stitch along in the Friends of Hands Across the Sea stitch along for Maria Wales Newson starts on January 1st. It's all divided up. There's a PDF on the Facebook page for you to follow. The first month, I think, starts right here. And it does this little section. I don't know how long the section is, how big it is. But you start on January 1st, and I thought, maybe I want a cute project bag for her since she's going to be a year-long stitch-along project, hopefully, if I can keep up. Also, here's the fabric for her. I need to serge it still. It's so pretty. Oh, I love it. So a while ago, I had made a bag for a friend, and she'd sent me the fabric she wanted me to use, and just said, keep the leftovers and do whatever you want with them. And so I had the leftovers, and I made myself a tiny little bag. It's just got green, and I thought it would be perfect to hold all the silks for Maria. Right now they're in this tin, which isn't super user-friendly. You know, the silks. And I thought it would be nice to have them in this bag. And then I had enough to make a big bag. It's on my ironing board right now. So then I'll have a bag this size that looks like this, with this little one that goes inside and holds all the silks. So I'll have a little matching set for Maria for the whole Sal all year next year, which is exciting. And it was fun to make something new and for myself. I don't usually make bags for myself too often. I have something tickling my chin. So that was the bag sewing that I was experimenting with. And then I also did some quilt sewing. I finally finished my whip of my Christmas quilt, which is Swell Christmas from, I think it's Moda. I started this last Christmas and it's just been lingering in here unfinished. And I was like, this is enough is enough. It's not a difficult quilt to do. Let's just get it finished. And so I did finish it. I'm very excited. So I'll show you the chart, the pattern I used. I used the free pattern from Fat Quarter Shop, the Jelly Roll Rail Fence. So like I said, it was a free PDF download from Fat Quarter Shop. You can still go get it. I used 2 jelly rolls. I used the Swell Christmas jelly roll and let me scoot back so you can see it. And the and just a white jelly roll. I don't even know what size this is. It's probably the biggest quilt I've ever done. It's definitely the biggest quilt I've ever done. But it's not quite queen size. I don't know. Can you see? I can't see. So here it is. It's so cute. Look at the little vintage Santas. I added the white in so that it would be bigger. Oh, yeah, pretty big. I've already done my 1/4 inch seam all the way around it to take to my quilter. So I don't know when I'll get this to my quilter because I'm not going to get it in time for Christmas, so it doesn't really matter now. Okay, I'm just glad to have it finished. And now I'm all covered in threads. So I did finish my Christmas quilt and I had enough of the squares left over. I chopped them up a bit more and I just did a cute little thing that'll be cute in a basket or on a table ledge or something. I don't know. I didn't want to waste it. So those are my 2 sewing projects I did. Now I do have some plans to start another quilt. I found a quilt pattern, another free quilt pattern. I'll tell you what it's called. It's just a log cabin pattern, a log cabin quilt that uses a jelly roll. Because I have a lot of jelly rolls. I don't know why. I just have a lot. And this was a free pattern from Donna Jordan for Jordan Fabrics. She even has a YouTube tutorial. So each square will just look like that. I've made a log cabin quilt before using a jelly roll, but I lost my pattern. And so I have quite a few jelly rolls. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do next. I'm thinking Joie de Vivre from the new release from French General, because it's got like, let's see, let me grab it. Maybe, okay. Joie de Vivre, because it's got these reds and tans and pinks. And, you know, our next season coming up is Valentine's Day. So I feel like it'd be fun to be sewing something that's got reds in it. So this one is the one I might do next. And I know the log cabin, the way they have you separate these is you separate by lights and darks. So should be pretty easy. So that is kind of sewing plans for the future, other than finishing my bag for Maria. So that's ready to go when the stitch along starts. Other plans, I don't really have any. I definitely am going to finish my Prairie Schooler Santa before Christmas, because on Christmas Eve, as I said in my last video, I will be starting my next red sampler. So pretty. I can't wait to start this. So I'll probably work on measuring the fabric out, maybe cutting and serging it, having it ready to go. I'm waiting on some sawdust still so I can finish stuffing the last of these Christmas pillows. What else? I think stitching and sewing wise, that's really all the plans I've got. So now let's see. Shows. I watched, I know I've talked about Miss Scarlet before. The show used to be called Miss Scarlet and the Duke, but now it is just called Miss Scarlet. And it's a PBS Masterpiece Classic, or PBS Mysteries, something like that. They had a new season come out last week and I was so excited. I love this show. I love it so much. There was only 6 episodes. Very upsetting because it takes so long for a season to come out. And I blew through them, of course, and it was fantastic. I loved every minute of it. I'm going to rewatch them all again. It's just such a good show. I love it. I love it. I love it. I watch it through the PBS Masterpiece Classic channel through Amazon. I think I pay $5 for it. Worth it. There are so many great shows on that. And then we watched more Christmas movies. We watched Christmas Vacation last night. We watched Home Alone, The Santa Claus. I know I watched something else. Biltmore Christmas, right? A Biltmore Christmas. Okay, I've discovered this movie last year, which is ridiculous because it's older. Not like super old, but a lot of people already knew about it. And I saw it last year. It's like a Hallmark movie. You guys, it is so good. Even my husband was watching it with me. It's just so good. It's such a great Christmas movie. Hallmark movies, the acting's always just like meh, whatever, but I actually think the acting in this one is for the most part very good, and it makes me tear up multiple times in the show. It's such a good movie. I watched it on YouTube TV. They were just playing it on the Hallmark channel, and I just happened to stumble upon it right as it started. So I'm so glad I got to see that again. And then I still want to watch The Holiday. I found that one last year. It has Emma Roberts, and I don't know the dude in it. And it's on Netflix. It is super funny. It's a really, really funny Christmas movie. I highly recommend it. I love it. Even my husband thought it was funny. There's like 8,000 birds outside on my neighbor's lawn. Like, this isn't unreal. Unreal. I wish I could turn the camera around so you could see. There's like 1,000, and they're so loud. All I can hear is the birds. Sorry, distracted. I think that's all. I watched a lot of YouTube this past week. I caught up on a lot of Flosstubes. I watched a lot of Financial Audit. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the Financial Audit with Caleb Hammer. Basically, people apply to be on his show, and he goes through their finances. And some of them are just so insane. It makes me feel better about myself. Is that horrible? But they're so crazy. Some are so crazy. And it's just really interesting to me what people will spend their money on, kind of thing. I'm sure people would be like, why are you buying what you're buying? And so it's just interesting. But I love the Financial Audit. That is a fun show to watch. If you've never watched it, it's actually one of the top 10 podcasts in the world right now, which is kind of cool. So, and then we watched a lot of football. It was college playoff week 1. I wasn't like super invested in any of the schools that played, but they were good. They were pretty good games. 2 of the games we knew it was going to be a blowout, but the first game, Alabama and Oklahoma, was a really good game. And then it was NFL, obviously, and they're getting closer to their, playoffs, and the Bills won. Yay. Very happy about that, but the Pats also won, and that just puts us further back in the lineup for possibly going to the Super Bowl. But a lot of good games. We watched a lot of good games. The Raiders put up a really good fight against the Texans, and I don't know, because the Texans defense is really good this year, and I don't know if they were just not having a great day or if for some reason Angels were with the Raiders helping them because they are awful this year. But that was a really close game for the whole game. We couldn't believe it. We were just in shock the whole time. But it was fun to see our team magically do a decent job until, you know, the end. We weren't expecting them to win anyways, but okay, that's really all the shows. We're going to be watching more Christmas movies for sure in the next few days. My husband has to work the next 2 days, but all the kids are home. Tomorrow we are having our friends come over, and we're going to do gingerbread houses with all of our kids. So that'll be fun. We had a family Christmas party on Saturday night, and it's like the only time I ever get to see my extended family, my cousins and everything, which is so dumb because they live all right here. Just life is very busy, you know? And so it was fun to be able to see all of them and let my kids play with all of their kids. They have a lot of kids in their family, and we have none in my family, and none that are little and none that live close. So it was fun. It's always fun for my kids to be able to go play with the basement full of children. And we did white elephant, and this is what I won, or what I got in the white elephant. Look how big this thing of snowy popcorn is. It's huge. I bought the little one a few weeks ago because I wanted it for Christmas, and then I came home with this massive thing. So I've got 2 things of snowy corn in my kitchen. What else did we do last week? Oh, my 4-year-old did not end up having her dental surgery on Thursday. The dentist called and asked to reschedule it to Monday, the 29th, which actually works out much better for our schedules. And he said they're waiving all facility fees that day. So I was like, awesome. So she's rescheduled for the 29th to do that. We had all of both my girls' Christmas dance performances. They were so cute, so fun. I would put their videos in the end, but it's got other children in it, and I don't know if people want their children on my videos. So I'll just post the pictures of my girls in the beginning of this video. They were so cute, and it was my 4-year-old's first time performing, and she did a really good job. I was very surprised. They had us all go in to sit on the benches, and they had this room, and you'll see in the pictures, they have one of their studios just like completely to the nines done up Christmas. And so all the girls were, standing all posed with their huge smiles, waiting, watching us all come in. And I could see her like smiling and then kind of being like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people coming in here. Because a lot of people come to these. But she did so good. I was very proud of her very first time. And then my middle daughter, who's danced for years and years, obviously is pretty good at this point. She did a good job as well. And then Santa came at the end of their performances, so I got to see Santa and take pictures with Santa. There was something else. Now I can't remember. So Christmas foods. You all gave me the best ideas with all of your comments of what you make for Christmas Eve dinner. I loved reading through all of your traditions. It was so much fun. So I'm going to pose another question because I love hearing your answers. But I've decided for Christmas Eve, we are going to do finger foods. I did get a ham. So we have a spiral ham I'll just have in the crock pot with rolls for little sandwiches. And then I have a million different finger foods that I'll put out for everybody to just snack on all afternoon and all evening. And then probably for lunch the next day, leftover ones on Christmas Day. So yeah, all your ideas were so helpful, and I loved. A lot of you do spaghetti, which is really interesting. I would never have thought to do spaghetti. But a lot of you do spaghetti, and I thought that was kind of fun. A lot of you do tamales. Let's think, what are some of the other ones I saw? I saw nacho bar. I saw hamburgers. Soup, a lot of soup. There's a lot of soups, which I love a good soup. So that was tempting as well. So we'll do that for Christmas Eve. And then I'm going to be doing all my cookie baking on Christmas Eve too. Because for some reason I feel like you have to do it that day. I'm making 4 different kinds of cookies. I I told myself this year that I wasn't going to be ridiculous. I always make too much. And here I am making too much again, but you know what? It's Christmas and what the hell. I'm making sugar cookies, obviously. And then I saw a really cute recipe for Grinch cookies. And they're super easy. These other cookies are really easy. Grinch cookies, and you just use a white cake mix. You know, cake mix cookies. And then you roll them in a ball, and then you roll them in powdered sugar. So when they bake, they look like crinkle cookies, but they're green and white. Like, and then you like do a little icing red heart on them, and they look like Grinch cookies, and they're so cute. And then another cookie I'm gonna do is, it's like a chocolate, double chocolate cookie. It's supposed to taste like a brownie, but be in a cookie form. And you also roll those into balls and then roll them in Christmas sprinkles. I don't have a ton of Christmas sprinkles, so I might just do the tops. Because every store is out of Christmas sprinkles right now. But so I'm going to do those chocolate sprinkle ones too. And then I saw a recipe last night, and I was like, I've never made those, and I've always wanted to because they look really good. And it's just a raspberry thumbprint cookie. So I got my raspberry jam, and I'm going to make the thumbprint cookies too because I've never done those. And they look real good. And then, I mean, I've got so much stuff. I got caramels and Chex Mix and peanut M&Ms and Muddy Buddies and oh, what else do I have? Candy, you know, candy. But, so it's gonna be fun. Calories don't count at Christmas. Didn't you guys know that? So then Christmas Day, we're gonna do prime rib. That'll be very fun. And I'm gonna make a lemon meringue pie because we need more desserts, right? So that is my plans for Christmas foods. And we're just gonna stay home. We stay home on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and we see my parents come over on Christmas Day at some point just to do some gifts and things. And yeah, I mean, we keep it pretty low key. And then the day after Christmas, I go shopping. That's when I buy Christmas decor for the next year. And then it's next year, and I open all my boxes, and I'm like, oh yeah, all this new stuff. It's like I was shopping. So I will be going Christmas. It's like a tradition. I do it every year, and I usually do it with my sister-in-law, but she is going to be on a vacation at Christmas this year. So I'll be on my lonesome, but it's okay. I think that is it. I keep saying because my brain is trying to catch up with my mouth. But I'm done. I'm ready for Christmas. I've got all my food. Gifts are wrapped. Stocking things are ready to go. I think my husband still has packages coming. He's a last minute shopper. That's okay. But yeah, that is all that I have to show to you today. I hope to be back next week. My video next week, I am planning it to be a end of year whip parade. Go through all of my projects, pull out the ones that I've forgotten about, show you and feel shame, and say, oh, really must get back to that on every single project, because that's guaranteed. You have to do that in a whip parade. So next week, that'll probably be a whip parade. And I also would like to maybe think about some plans for the coming year, crafting wise, what I want to accomplish, what I'd like to focus on. You know me, I keep it loosey-goosey. I don't do a lot of plans. I don't have strict rules. It's just kind of follow my heart around here. But there are a few things that I would love to attempt in the next year, creative-wise. So obviously, I will post on Instagram when my videos go up. And I hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas, however you celebrate. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.